in my own life, it took me till the age of 30 to ever ask the question, what is the end result of my 40 hours of work? Is it anything positive for the earth? You know, I don't know why it took me to the age of 30 to ever ask that question. But once I asked it, I couldn't do anything that wasn't important for the earth for one day. I couldn't tolerate one day not committing myself to social justice, to peace, to the environment. So, and I don't know how transformation happens, but I love that one of your themes here is transformational education. Because a lot of us will have a transformational experience, but there's no guarantee we'll transform, right? You can go to some workshop for a weekend and get your mind blown, or meet some outstanding individuals in your life's journey, and the next Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, you might be back to your old patterns and routines that are pretty unsustainable and pretty stuck in a rut. And it's a mystery still. How do we transform? You know, how does that happen? And I think it does take courage to transform. And it takes courage, and it's not always obvious. And I have this one cassette tape of a Native American guy. I used to live in Canada, and they had this a comedy show called the Dead Dog Cafe, and it was just hilarious if any of you like Native humor. But the last line of their last Dead Dog Cafe was, "Pay attention to the signs," you know. And a lot of times there's a lot of information that's being presented to us, but we're kind of a little asleep at the wheel. And then maybe we don't trust ourselves to really follow through. So I'll tell you a little bit about some of my transformations as we go, but I want to really focus too about some of you, what you're up to is transformational education, right? So I want to see how I can tie some themes into that. I'm in the process still of an 18-year experiment. I started it in 1989 when I was an arms dealer for the US government, and I was meeting in Stockholm with Swedish military, selling them top secret equipment that I had designed as an engineer. And so I'm sitting at the bar of the Royal Viking Hotel, which is like a $130 a night hotel, and I had flown first class to get over there, and on the TV screen comes the Valdez oil spill. And man, that hit me hard. Like, it was out of the blue, because I'm like reading my notes, prepping for a meeting with Swedish military tomorrow, and there comes the Valdez oil spill. And this place, Alaska, was a place I dreamed of as a boy, that I would always go. You know, I wanted to bike there and just encounter the wild, encounter the grizzly, the wild wolves, watch whales breaching off the shores, and then seeing that oil spill, I just started to cry. I was at the bar, I had the big dark beer, and I looked across the bar at the mirror and I saw myself, and I said, "You're the guilty one," because they're asking on the TV, who caused the spill? Was the pilot drinking? And I said, 3 fingers, you know, pointing back to me. I saw my own reflection. I've flown 8 times intercontinental flight that year for business. I drove 3 miles to work every day. Like, who's the guilty one here, you know? And I could never get myself to bike to work because I'd have to get up 10 minutes earlier. So when I got home, I got up 10 minutes earlier every single day. And then I started writing bigger checks to environmental groups until I had $200 checks to about 30 organizations going. And then it said inside, I got to put my full life into this. I couldn't work one more day, and I gave my notice. But I felt so frustrated at one point, I didn't know what to do. I knew there was something big brewing. I didn't know how I could survive the future. It was a mystery. So I locked myself in my house for the weekend, and I got out my engineering economics textbooks, and I asked the question, well, how much do I need? I was doing multi-million-dollar business deals for the company, and I was always asking the question, how much can I get for the company? So now I ask, well, how much do I need? And I realized that if I was to take the car off the road, rent 3 of the 4 bedrooms in my house, plant a vegetable garden, I could live the rest of my life on $5,000 a year. I was living in an expensive little city, San Luis Obispo, California. And I ran the numbers backwards and forwards, and I realized I can do this. I can live on $5 grand a year. And I felt so great. I went into work and I gave my 30-day notice. That was 1989. And I still haven't touched my capital. I've been living off the money I earned by the age of 30. And so I've been living on $5,000 a year for 18 years. It's an 18-year experiment. It's just, I had my anniversary just a month ago. So it's been a fun journey.